liberals, we're not socialists, communists, or anarchists. Do you know what those words all mean? Because I'm not a liberal, I'm a progressive, which is different. You said socialist, communist, or anarchist, those are the choices? Yeah. Why are those together? Since they're opposing philosophies. So from our sets, did any of us give off the vibe that we think the government should control the means of production?
I don't know, I heard a lot of Biden support.
You heard a lot of Biden support. Biden! You think Biden is a socialist, communist, or anarchist? You think the most centrist Democratic president in history is a... But you're the one...
I think he's a fascist.
You think he's a fascist? I think...
This is why comedian Steve Hofstetter is one of the best out there, and the mainstream will not cover him for some reason.
I am going to have a aneurysm, Steve. I understand. I like the idea that you think he's both a socialist and a fascist. And an anarchist. I think you just learned the suffix "ist" recently. And let me tell you this, that question was the dumbest. So...
And let me just say, and if you have no idea who this man is...
I have friends who are conservative.
I'm very conservative.
Yeah?
I have a gay daughter.
Great.
My best friend is gay.
Okay.
You know.
So, are you every conservative?
But there's more of us out there than you think. Just because...
No, but do you vote?
Yes.
For who?
I voted for Trump.
That's my point. Hold on a second, wait.
Who I vote for doesn't make me who I am, but you're judging.
Wait, hold on a second, hold on. I'm not judging you personally. I am judging some of your decisions, and your decision to vote for a hate-mongering criminal, and are you proud of your vote for Trump?
But you voted for somebody whom I think is horrible because he was cheating on his wife when she got killed in the car.
What?
This is some of what he does at his shows.
Hold on a second, hold on. Wait, just a moment. Can I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So, if I am to understand you, you are upset that Joe Biden has been accused of cheating on his wife. And yet... The thing that I truly think is that you are most likely socially progressive. However, I think that you, whether it is because you have decided you don't want to look into it too far or because you're listening to someone else, you haven't researched the differences in what some parties are voting for, what some parties believe, and so you associate yourself with conservatives despite many of your viewpoints having nothing to do with them. And so what I am making fun of in this set, and this is your original question, is that. If this is important to you, and it sounds important to you, it's important enough for you to raise your hand in front of 200 people and go, this is the thing I'm going to say that makes it seem important, then please, after this, look it up. Find out what it means. And then see if it's still important to you. And that's how it works. And that's how we all change. That was the point of the set. The idea that the ideals that we were given to by our parents or the people we grew up with aren't necessarily the ideals that we have to keep for the rest of our lives. And compassion is important. But compassion doesn't mean being compassionate for hate. And that's where I draw the line.
I support everyone's identity regardless if it makes sense to me or not. So my question is, dissociative identity disorder, formerly multiple personality disorder, is considered to be just that, a mental disorder. What makes that different from transgender, non-binary people? Specifically non-binary individuals who identify as they, them.
Okay. First of all, they, them can be singular or plural, and the people who argue that it's always plural don't understand basic grammar. What makes it different is the people who spend their lives studying this and are experts on this say that it is different, and I trust them to know more about a subject that I don't know. If you don't trust the entire medical industry to be telling you the truth about that, then you should take your car to a florist the next time it breaks down. Because if you don't trust experts on one thing, why would you trust them on something else? And the fact of the matter is, we need to trust people who have spent their whole adult lives researching something rather than a meme you see once. I didn't understand dissociative disorder until I met someone who had it, because the way that it's portrayed on TV is utterly ridiculous. But I met a fan who had that and had a caretaker with her because she could become dangerous to herself. And I was talking to her and I had stepped away and I came back and she didn't know that I was there yet. I was walking up behind where they were and she was speaking as if she was like a small child. And then when she realized that I was there again, she kind of shook it off and apologized, like, I didn't want you to see that, that's so embarrassing. And I was like, no, I get that this is something that you're fighting. And it was a lot for me to process because it's not something I had ever seen before. And when you see something that you've never seen before, it takes a while for you to understand it. And I think that that's what's happening now. I think that for the first time, there are a lot of people who are seeing a different gender identity than they understand. And so their first reaction is going, no, that's not a thing. And then if it actually is someone in their life and someone they're talking to, then they start to understand it a little bit more. I think that what we know as a society right now is very different than what we'll know in 5 years or 10 years or 1 year if they close all the schools. But like, it is something that I don't fault people for having trouble grasping immediately. Every one of us had that moment. Every one of us, anyone who pretends that they got it the second they were told it the first time is lying. Because anything that is different to us, it takes a little bit to process.
And he also broke down how he picks and chooses when he must go on the attack from a heckler or someone who's being transphobic or someone who is fully brainwashed in MAGA, or if they could use it as a learning experience. Take a look.
Every now and then, someone just does show up, especially when I'm in a comedy club instead of a theater or a rock venue, because they're just like, hey, what's there to do today? And if there's one thing we know about that side of the coin, it's that they do not do their own research. So when that happens, I try to be as patient as possible because I try to reach them. Now, if they're being combative, yeah, I'll hit right back.
Sure.
But there's a video that went very, very viral of mine on TikTok. Someone actually, weirdly enough, someone who reshared it got millions of views when mine, because that's how the algorithm works.
100%.
But it's someone asking me about how can I, refer to myself as progressive while being unwilling to talk to the other side of the aisle. And I broke it down very patiently and explained that, like, I have conservative friends. I don't have MAGA friends because conservative is a political and economic ideology. MAGA is a system of ethics. That's different. And so what I did, I was trying to reach this person, but more so, I was trying to give ammo to the other hundreds of people in the room who are going to go home for Thanksgiving and talk to their families.
Yes.
Sí. Sí, pero cuando está presente mi abogada, lo van a quebrar, dice.
Ah, lo van a quebrar ya ahorita, dice. Ok, voy a grabar video por si acaso sucede. Ok, gracias.
Ah, bueno, que lo hagan, Juan puto. Déjalo ahí.
This is the cruelty of the Trump administration.
Deme la orden.
Dele la orden.
No, pues no me voy a bajar.
Entonces le tiene que...
Si no me baja, si no,
No,
me,
you
no,
know?
ahí deja que lo revienten.
No,
ahí
if it's against... No! You guys cannot take her! Just because you guys
No
want
te preocupes, Karen, no te preocupes. Tranquilo. Tranquila, mamá.
You guys are
Háblale a Ulises.
You act like you want to have kids!
No te preocupes, mamá. Todo va a estar bien.
Tenga cuidado, tenga cuidado.
Gracias.
Espérese, señora. Ponga el carro en parking.
Está parqueado.
Ok, déle el teléfono a su hija para poder sacarla sin que, porque hay vidrio por todos lados.
No, yo voy a llevar mi teléfono.
Ok,
No se
está bien,
preocupe.
está bien. Tenga cuidado, despacio, despacio.
No se preocupe, si me giro es su culpa.
Wait!
Espera.
Don't grab her like that!
Graba, mamá, graba.
Don't grab her like that!
Yo voy bien.
Don't grab her!
Karen, llamarle a Ulises y se mueve en el carro.
Oh my God!
Where they take hard-working folks in this country
Get out! Look. Open the door. No, hey, you can! You can! It's illegal! Okay. Look! It's pregnant! It's pregnant! It's pregnant! It's pregnant! Look! Okay. No, please! It's pregnant! Stop! No! Amiga. No. It's illegal. Hey, it's legal. Get out of my... No. Get out of the car. Get out of my car. Get him, no. I have video. Look, it's pregnant. No. Hey, oh my God. Open the door. It's pregnant. You can. Toma el teléfono.
And through Stephen Miller's wet dreams turn policies, they inflict violence.
Why do you pull these people alone? Show me you're here legally, and I'll leave you alone. Where is it? You have it? Yes, I do. No.
Well,
can I see how you're here legally? Yes,
Can I see your warrant, please?
Do you guys have a warrant?
Can I see your warrant, please?
Do you guys have a warrant?
Do you have a warrant for arresting this man?
They've obviously not answered the question because they don't have.
Kevin, are you here legally or illegally?
Don't talk to him. Don't answer. Don't open the door.
No le contestes nada y quédate callado.
Tú tienes el derecho de quedarte callado.
I'm going to take you out, and you're going to come to our office either way. So how would you like
Tú tienes el derecho de quedarte callado.
If he could do that, he would have done it.
Yes, you start getting this way. Which one's it going to be, Kevin? I'm giving you the opportunity. I don't want to smash the window, and I don't want to drag you out. Just come out of the car. If you're legally, I'll go away. Which one's it going to be? I'm giving you the opportunity to exit the vehicle. When I smash this window, you're going to get dragged out. I don't think you want that. Right? So what are you going to do?
He's going to stay right where he is.
Kevin, you're here illegally. I already know that. That's all I need to establish.
I need to see a warrant. You have masked men taking people, abducting people without a warrant, without IDs.
¿Cómo te llamas para buscarte? Mira, allá no firmes nada. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿A quién llamo?
No tengo familiar, no que solo conozco a la familia entera.
Cause pain and make the country worse.
On Friday, the Trump administration deported 3 U.S. citizen children to Honduras, including a 4-year-old boy who was actively receiving treatment for a rare form of stage 4 cancer. The boy and his 7-year-old sister, who's also a U.S. citizen, were deported along with their undocumented mother. That same day, another child with U.S. citizenship, a 2-year-old girl, was also sent to Honduras with her mother, who's pregnant, and her undocumented 11-year-old sibling. In that case, U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty, who's a Trump appointee, said the girl was deported, quote, with no meaningful process, unquote. The judge added, quote, I've never seen anything like it. There is just no good faith interpretation for what happened to these children, the Trump-appointed judge said. The 2 mothers and their children were detained last week after attending routine check-ins with Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Louisiana. Lawyers for both families say the mothers were coerced into taking their U.S. citizen children with them when they were deported. In the case of the 2-year-old girl, her father's still in the United States. A federal judge in Louisiana raised concerns about Trump officials removing her from the country against the wishes of her father. The mothers are reportedly prohibited from communicating with other family members or their lawyers after they were detained, and their relatives did not know of their whereabouts until the mothers arrived in Honduras. The cases have further raised questions of the harmful impacts of Trump's anti-immigrant policies will have on mixed-status families in the U.S. The Brookings Institution Center for Migration Studies estimates nearly 5 million U.S. citizen children have at least one undocumented parent.
In sports, we warned this was going to happen.
He's been here since he was like 8 years old. I mean, he's grown up here. This is what he knows.
The mother of 19-year-old Emerson Colindres sharing her plea.
It's been very difficult. We've had days and nights where we just haven't been able to rest at all.
He's behind bars here at the Butler County Jail. A massive crowd rallying outside the jail, calling for Emerson's release.
We want him to know that he's not alone. There's a whole army behind him.
I don't know anyone who dislikes him. Like, he was a leader on the team. He's one of the greatest players I've ever coached. He's incredibly talented. He had dreams of being a pro player. Now that's like being taken away.
And it's taking precedence.
Emerson Colindres, a 19-year-old in Ohio, was just taken by ICE just weeks after earning his high school diploma. In 2014, Emerson's family fled the violence of gangs in Honduras. At just 8 years old, Emerson came to the U.S. looking for safety and asylum. He grew up to be a talented soccer player, but more than that, a beloved community member. Teammates, friends, and neighbors describe him as kind, hardworking, and a dedicated student, role model, and star athlete. In 2023, their asylum case was denied, but Emerson's family continued to follow the law, having regular check-ins with immigration. Then last week, the family went in for what they thought would be a routine check-in. Instead, Emerson was detained with no warning. Now, Emerson is confined to a cell, and his mother says he is not doing well emotionally or physically. As news of Emerson's detention spread, the community exploded with support. Teammates, friends, even soccer rivals have shown up outside the jail in Cincinnati, wearing free Emerson t-shirts demanding for his release. Emerson's mom has been given 30 days to leave the country. Through tears, she has said, "How is my son gonna make it over there? He doesn't know anything, and the country we come from is very insecure. Right now, families all over the country, like Emerson's, are being torn apart.
WXIX, a local Fox affiliate in Cincinnati, reported many in the community caught wind of the detainment and quickly protested outside Butler County Jail, where Colindres was being held. There were fears he was going to be moved to another facility. The Catholic Charities Southwestern Ohio released a statement. We have been asked to provide representation for Emerson Colindres as his immigration attorney in his removal defense. Our client informed us earlier today that he is being moved. This is all we know, despite repeated attempts to learn more. We are deeply concerned about this action being taken prior to a decision on motions filed in this case, especially in light of the genuine concern the community has for this young man. Then the fears his supporters and his mother held were validated. Daytona 247 Now reports Emerson was taken out of the Butler County Jail and moved to a Michigan airport that is largely held for deportations. Emerson has been in the country since he was 8 years old. Like many cases with the Trump administration, they are trying to ramp up deportations. Colindres was detained after he was told to report to an immigration office. When arriving, he was told he would be deported to Honduras. Tricia McLaughlin, Assistant Secretary for the Department of Homeland Security, released this statement on Emerson Colindres. As is the law, if you are in the country illegally and a judge has ordered you to be removed, that is precisely what will happen. Emerson Colindres is an illegal alien who has had a final order of removal since 2023. ICE's ATD Intensive Supervision Appearance Program exists to ensure compliance with release conditions. All illegal aliens are afforded due process. This is not something new. It is not a new phenomena. This is the practice of ICE, where folks in this country are told to do everything legally and appropriately. And here we are, they're showing up to an immigration office that they have to go to, and from there they're being detained. I suppose my question is this. These folks pay taxes. Considering that this country touts the GDP and how much we're worth and American exceptionalism, and they don't even have the same rights as we do, why are folks in a tizzy to deport them? They're contributing to the economy. We are wiping out billions of dollars, billions, by sending these people off to countries they have never experienced, or, like the Colindreses, tried to get away from because of gang violence. I believe I saw a statement, at least it has been repeated as the main defense talking point, by saying, oh, well, they're involved with a gang. Yeah, the gang activity, they gotta go. That is an awful way of viewing this, especially for a governmental body, but I guess I'm not too surprised. So this is where we're at, where 4-year-olds with cancer are being deported, where people who tried to get away from gang violence are now being re-entered into it, and promising soccer players who have dreams of going pro are now getting sent away to countries that they don't know anything about. This is awful, awful. And if you're going along with this, no matter who it is, whether it is a pundit, a supporter, or someone who's choosing indifference, you are the problem. Let me be clear. And let me also be clear. Through the years, you know who has not helped this cause? Democrats. Elected Democrats. The Biden-Harris administration. Not helping. What did Kamala Harris want to do? Provide more funding to ICE. What did a good majority of Democrats just vote on? Thanking ICE and law enforcement officers for their efforts. And then you see a representative like Dan Goldman go to a courthouse and confront ICE. So which one is it, bro? Let me be clear. The parties are, as Kyle Kulinski put in a video, they are not the same. But in some areas, on different topics, the middle of that Venn diagram is heavy. So start using your voice. Call it out. Why is an innocent 19-year-old who's a promising soccer star getting deported? I just don't get it. Tell me. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.